Well, hello and good afternoon. Hello to all of the eXp'ers out there. Hello to all of my fellow agent attractors. And once again, hello to all of the future eXp agents. My name is Brian Rouseau, and this is episode 19 of Agent Attraction Conversations. Thank you so much for joining me. Now, in today's conversation, today being Tuesday, September the 3rd, 2019. This is the first conversation of the month, and that means Book of the Month Day. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and share this with you all. The book of September is Fanatical Prospecting, written by Blount, right? So I love this book, guys. I just got to tell you, I love it. I do not shy away from hard messages or hard truths, and just the way that Jeb Blount, speaks very directly, the cadence in which he speaks, it just connects with me personally, and I just highly encourage any and everyone, regardless of your style, to invest in this book. Audio version is great. I'm listening to it for the second time. I've got my book with me, and I'm going to, of course, make some highlights and notes as I talk about very frequently with you all. And I would give you guys a brief premise, but I don't want to take away from the value offered in the book, because me paraphrasing it is not going to give you what you need. This book, I think, is the single strongest sales book I've ever read. It really goes in from the very beginning, talking about the need to get over the sting of rejection. A lot of us as salespeople, a lot of us as individuals, human beings, we are averse to being rejected. We just don't. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't. If we look for external sources to define who we are, that might be crushing to somebody with that type of personality. So all that said, I think that this book does a wonderful job on the onset to help free many of us of that avoidance. Now, at the end of the book, Jeb tells a wonderful story about high school football in Georgia, watching his son play, and he references a coach. And I'm not going to give away the story, but in that story, the coach on the sideline is yelling, how bad do you want it? So we've got, at the beginning of the book, the author talking about, let's get over, our fear of rejection, and implement some courage. And then toward the end, how bad do you want this thing? And everything in between is gold, guys. Jeb talks very specifically about the science of prospecting, as well as the art of prospecting and sales. And what I mean specifically in that difference, the science being the analytics, X percentage of the time, if you use, these types of scripts, or if you're in these types of situations, you'll find your success. The analytical stuff is really, really helpful. And also the methods in which you approach various prospects. I think that is super important to drill down and identify. But he also does a wonderful job in really honing in on the nuance, the technique, and giving appropriate context. That's the art. That's the emotion. That's the human side of this sales business. So whether you are looking to grow your real estate business, and prospects, buyer and seller prospects is the primary focus here. If you're looking to grow your real estate business in the form of agent attraction and EXP revenue share, or again, even if you're just an everyday salesperson or not in direct sales, non-real estate professional, we are all in some form of sales, selling ourselves, selling an idea. It's just super important, and I highly recommend this book. I don't want to, again, detract from the message. It's just super, super impressive to me when you learn about this individual. He also has a podcast. Speaking of podcasts, I was introduced by this book by Tim and Julie Harris, great coaches. They also have a podcast. I highly recommend that. And I'm going to give you guys your day and keep this short and sweet, but all the same, please Give me your feedback if you've read the book before, or as you start to read the book and you have any other ideas about it, or any other future books of the month that you think should be highlighted. I'd love to hear them, guys. Love you all. Talk to you soon.